Good morning. Today, what I'm briefly going to be talking about is what is coaching and why coaching. Why coaching? So, most of us, when we work with an organization or wherever we are engaged, uh, sometimes even in family life, we face different types of situations that often become a little stressful in different ways. Or sometimes what happens is, so let's say for example, you are working with a client where you probably make a you need to, or you are making a presentation, and you realize that half through the presentation, the people who are looking at your presentation are basically either feeling drowsy or losing interest. So it could be any of these situations, multiple situations at the workplace, which are very small, but they impact your work very largely. Those are points where you might be great at what you do. Believe me, you definitely are an expert at what you do. But there are these small little things which, if nailed into the right place, would make your work life better, as well as make you more effective in the long run at the workplace. So those are the kind of situations where what you ideally need is not really a training per se, but more of a coach who doesn't really show you a PPT, but kind of talks to you, understands how you do it, whatever you're doing, wherever you're facing the problem, figure out where the flaws are, and kind of puts in the plugs at the right spots. So that's the importance of coaching. For example, there was one situation where I was actually working with a vice president of a large media house, and he had this particular problem, which is why I mentioned it earlier, that he made presentations, he had to make presentations to clients, and they would lose interest or get bored, drowsy during the presentation. So what I figured was, the problem was the good thing was he was a good speaker. Unfortunately, his presentations were being built in such a way that there's so much overload of information that kind of stresses the viewer or the listener out. So what we did was, we basically tried and figure out how to build that presentation in such a way that it maintains the interest of the audience. So similarly, most of these situations, for example, there are situations where as a leader, you might probably have figured that you sometimes burst out on your juniors. That's where you probably need to kind of undergo a quick coaching to understand, to figure out where your thread breaks, so that is where you become prepared going forward and ensure that you don't burst out and you kind of start talking rather to the junior. So yeah, I mean, these are certain things where the flaws that you figure that these are the problems that I'm facing at the workplace, and once you can kind of figure that out, try getting a coach. Reach out to me, reach out to any of the other coaches on LinkedIn, and spend a little time with him and help them enable you to become not different, but a better you. So thank you, and have a great Tuesday and a wonderful rest of the week.